Hi guys, Mr. Chapman here. This is video 6 in our series of videos on database skills. We're going to jump straight in it today. There's a fair bit to show you. So what I have open in the screen at the moment is my database systems folder with a few extra things. I have my student database, some graphical files, and that original plan. Now, today's video is about extending the form, and I'm going to show you a few different ways of getting graphical information into the database. And the whole reason that we use a form is to create more of a graphical user interface, and a lot of information that we want to hold is graphical in nature. So I'll be going through a few things to do with graphics. And if time permits in this video, I will also look at bringing in some user interface buttons for form navigation, so you're not tied to just what's given to you when you create the form using the wizard. Okay, so just going into the student database now. Remember, if it gives you that security warning, you just say yes. And with this file open, I have my two objects, TBL students, which currently has information on 3 test students. I'll close that down and open up the form, and this is where my form is currently at. So I've got in some color. I've changed the background color of both the header section and the main section. Just a quick recap of skills. If you're wanting to do any change to the structure of the form, we need to go into the design view. And one of the things that I would like to do in this particular database, I'm just going to give myself a little bit more room with the favorite food coming over to the right hand side, and just making a little bit better use of that space. So if I pan across, you can see that I'm just making it a little bit better use. Give myself just a little bit of room there. Okay, so Microsoft Access is helping me out by just automatically extending that form across, but I can also make changes as well. One of the things that I wanted to do just quickly is make a selection of multiple items by clicking and holding down the Shift key. And I'll just go to the Home tab and change the font just to something else, just to make it a little bit different. Might go Comic Sans, I think. Comic Sans, that changes it just a little bit, and I might make those things bold just to make it stand out a little bit more as well. Okay, so graphics. The first thing that I'm going to do is bring in an icon for my database. And it's going to be a small icon that just occupies a section up in the header, and it's there purely just to make my my user interface a little bit more professional looking. You can have graphics in the header section or the body, it doesn't matter. Where we need to go first of all, in the Design tab at the top, there are a full list of controls. Now, you'll be familiar with controls from our Visual Basic work. It's exactly the same concept. So we're looking for a picture control. We've got labels, text boxes, folder structures, you name it. Basically anything that you would want to put onto a form, it's available to you in Microsoft Access. If I scroll through, I'm looking for unbound object frame. There are also some other objects, bound object frame, image as well. I point out these 3 because all of these can actually hold graphical information. Now, bound and unbound items means that we can actually create a graphical frame and dynamically have it changing with the records. We're doing that anyway with our OLE object. So the one that we're after is just a straight image. Now, I'm only going to make a small image box, and it automatically wants to go and search for a graphic. So my graphic is in my folder, 10IST 2016 database systems, and it's this icon, this logo, student DB logo PNG. So I click OK to that. Now, there's my little logo. It's just going to occupy a bit of space up there on the left. If I want to go and have a look at the properties of that, there are a range of things that I can look at. Okay, you would have just noticed a little pause in the video there. I've just changed where the camera is situated so I can draw your attention to the right-hand side of the screen. Here I have a graphic that I've created. It can be moved around. Now, if I increase the size, I want that image to be stretching with it, and you may or may not remember in Visual Basic, we had that same sort of issue when you're bringing in graphics. So I'll just draw your attention to that when you have selected the graphic, the properties sheet appears on the right hand side and you have that size mode. Now, stretch, zoom, and clip. Now, if it's on clip, it will be its original size, and that tends to be the default. So just a reminder that if you change to stretch or to zoom, now zoom's a good one because it will actually change in proportion, whereas if you stretch, there is that chance of getting that distortion. Okay, so that's just something to remember. So for this particular graphic, I want it to remain in proportion, so I click zoom. All right, moving the camera back, closing the property sheet down for the moment. We're going to move on to the next set of skills in this video, and I am running out of time, so I'll move on. What I would like to do on this particular form is if I save and go across to the data view, I have these navigation buttons down the bottom, which is absolutely fine for working, but I kind of want to bring my own look and feel into this database. So what I'll do to finish off this video is just step you through the very simple process of creating buttons. So here I need to be inside the design view again, because we're in the back end of the form. We want to be on the design tools again. Here are my controls, and this guy here, the button. Now, when you select the button and you move into the form, a single left click will give you a standard size, and it gives you a wizard to work through. Now, using this wizard, you can create buttons for 90% of the things that you'll need. They exist in different categories. So I'm going to create 2 buttons for progressing forward and back with the records. So it's the record navigation. So the first one will be find next. I'll click next. I could use a picture for a button if I wanted to, like if I had an arrow, for example, but in this I'll just have next record as the text, and then I'll click finish, and then I'll create another one which is previous, and that will be called previous record, and finish. Okay, so that's buttons, and I'll save that and go to the data view, and you'll notice that I'm now able to use, you can't go to the specified record. Okay, I've obviously made a mistake, which is good. So let's go back to the design view, simply delete that, and let's try again. So button, I don't even know what I did wrong there. Okay, so we want record navigation, and we want this one to be previous record. The text is previous record, CMD previous, we'll call it. And then this guy, I'm going to delete it as well, and I'll build it again, just to be on the safe side. I actually think this one was created incorrectly in the first instance as well. Record navigation, this should be go to next record, and next record, and I'll call this CMD next. So that's always handy to be able to get yourself out of trouble. Okay, I'll just align those properly. Okay, go to save and go to the data view, and hopefully that's working. You can't go to the specified record. Now, why would that be the case? Okay, so, I see. I was already at record 1. It can't go backwards from 1, so it's just indicating that you're at the end of the records there. So find next will actually go to the next one, so I can create a new one, and then previous will sit that way. So it would obviously make more sense to go to the design view and swap those around. And I'll position them just there. Okay, so this video has run a little bit over, so I'm going to end it here, and in the next video we'll talk about entering in graphics into the OLE object image field. Okay, thanks for watching.